Hey buddies, let's today start with 11.4. 11.4 is all about standards for data tagging and reporting, right? So the two topics that we'll be talking here is all about XML and XBRL, right? Let's start it right away. XML, what exactly is XML? Full form of XML is extensible markup language, right? Before we start with the definition, let's understand what is extensible markup language. Extensible markup language is basically a set of rules that defines how a layout or a presentation of text and images should appear in a digital format or a document. So basically, what exactly is a markup language? Markup language is a set of rules that defines how a layout is what? Basically a presentation. If you would have seen a PowerPoint, there's a layout. So basically you prepare all kinds of presentation on a layout. So a set of rules that defines how a layout or a presentation of what text and images should appear in a digital format or document. So that's what is markup language all about, right? So let's understand what exactly is XML now. Now it is basically a file format and a markup language. So it's a culmination of both. That is, one is file format and the markup language. For what? For storing, transferring and recreating arbitrary data. What do you mean by arbitrary data? Any data in any format. So basically a random data for that matter is called as an arbitrary data. So any data in any format is called as arbitrary data. I'll just write here, any data in any format, right? So what exactly is extensible markup language? It is a file format and a markup language for storing, transferring and recreating arbitrary data. Fine. What does it contain? It contains standards for what that is capable of encoding text into a format that is easily understandable by both humans as well as machines. So it is a set of standards that is useful or that is capable, that has the potential of encoding the text into a format that is understandable by both humans as well as the machine. So that's the definition of extensible markup language. Now what is its function? Basically it is used for serialization or storing, sending and rebuilding arbitrary data, and that is the primary function of XML. So basically it contains the functions of XML. If they ask you, you just tell them that basically the function first of all it does serialization, or it helps in serialization, storing, sending and rebuilding arbitrary data. So these are the various functions of XML, right? As a markup language, XML labels, categorizes and arranges information systematically. So basically the main function or the main objective of a markup language is basically do labeling, and it categorizes and arranges information systematically. So that is all about extensible markup language. So let's revise it once again. What is extensible markup language? Before we start it, let's know what exactly is a markup language. Markup language is basically a set of rules that defines how a layout or a presentation of text and images should appear in a digital format or document. Fine. So the definition of markup language is, it is a file format and a markup language for what? For storing, transferring and recreating arbitrary data. It contains standards that is capable of encoding text into what format? Into a format that is understandable by both humans as well as the machines, right? What exactly is its function? It can be used, or rather its function is serialization, storing, sending and rebuilding of arbitrary data. Markup language also helps you in what? Labeling, categorizing and arranging information systematically. So that's the main definition of XML. Let's move on. Let's see what are the various applications of XML, right? Now XML is basically widely used for exchange of data via internet, right? So you can prepare data in XML and you can exchange the data through internet or via internet, right? So what are the various document formats created using XML syntax, right? So what all documents can be created using XML language? First is called as RSS. RSS means really simple syndication, right? You need not know the full form. I'm just telling you for learning purpose. It's really simple syndication. So these are the various document formats which can be created using XML syntax, right? There's something called as an atom. Open Office XML, you would have heard of it. Open Document, very similar to Office Open itself. Then you have something called as SVG. SVG simply means Scalable Vector Graphics. Fine. And then you have something called as HTML. HTML is something which you have heard because it's an XML format. So we had X prior to this, right? So what are the various applications that are or document formats that are created using XML syntax? One is RSS, Atom, OpenOffice XML, Open Document, SVG, also known as Scalable Vector Graphics, and XHTML. Now it can also be used as foundation language for communication protocols. Right, so it can be used as a foundational language for communication protocols. First, there are various document formats which are created using XML. So these are the various document formats, but these are the various communication protocols, right? A foundation language for communication protocols like SOAP and XMPP. What is SOAP? SOAP is simply Simple Object Access Protocol. And if you talk about XMPP, XMP is nothing but it is Extensible Messaging and Presence Protocol. So basically these two are protocols only, because we have already discussed that these are used for foundation language for communication protocols. One is SOAP. SOAP is Simple Object Access Protocol, and second one is XMPP, that is Extensible Messaging and Presence Protocol, right? Okay, let's move on. Let's see what exactly is XBRL. Before we have discussed what XML, now we will be discussing XBRL. Now what exactly is XBRL? It is a data description language. So it's basically a language which describes the data that facilitates the interchange of standard comprehensible corporate data. So basically XBRL is a medium for exchanging the corporate data, right? Or interchanging the standard or comprehensible corporate data. So it is basically a data description language that facilitates the interchange of standard comprehensible corporate data. So the key word here is corporate data. So if what is the language that is used for exchanging of corporate data, then in that case you are supposed to answer it as Extensible Business Reporting Language, or XBRL. Now it is again based on XML only. So the base is XML, and it enables what? It enables automated interchange, right? And ensures genuine extraction of financial data across all software types and technology, especially internet. Fine. So basically it is based on XML programming, and it enables what? Automated interchange. Automated interchange is there. So the first keyword is it is basically automated, and it enables automated interchange, and it also ensures genuine extraction of financial data across all software types and technology, especially through internet, right? So that's what is XBRL. Okay, now this is a figure that is given in your book, and it summarizes what exactly an XBRL can do. It can carry out various processes. What are these various processes? They can be business operations, internal financial reporting, external financial reporting, investment and lending analysis, right? So when I talk about business operations, what exactly, how can XBRL actually help you in business operation? It can help. XBRL can be used for business event reporting. So if there is any business event that is happening and you got to report it, in that case business operations, with respect to business operation, XBRL can be a very handy tool, right? Then we come to internal financial reporting, right? Now in terms of internal financial reporting, how can XBRL help? XBRL can be used for GL, that is general ledger journal entry reporting, right? And it can also be useful for audit schedules. So when we talk about the operations, it basically can help you in business event reporting. When we talk about the internal financial reporting, it can be used for GL journal entry reporting, or it can be used for audit schedules, right? Then we talk about external financial reporting. So how exactly an XBRL can be used for external financial reporting? It can be used for financial statements, that is your trading profit and loss account, balance sheet and all. So basically external financial reporting also, XBRL can be a very useful tool, and it can also be used for tax filings, right? And finally, when you talk about investment and lending analysis, in that case, it can be used for regulatory filing. So if you got to file anything which is mandatory to the to RBI or to the watchdog like SEBI, etc., in that case, XBRL can again play a very pivotal role, right? So what are the various processes? First is business operations. In terms of business operations, XBRL can be used for business event reporting, right? Internal financial reporting, they can be used for GL, journal entry reporting, or audit schedules, right? As far as external reporting is concerned, they can be used for external financial reporting is concerned, they can be used for financial statements or for tax filings. And when we talk about investment and lending analysis, they can be used for regulatory filings, right? Now, who are the various participants as far as XBRLs are concerned? Obviously companies, because we have already read it is used for the interchange of corporate data. So companies can be using XBRL. Financial publisher and data aggregators. So someone who publish a financial data, for example, I guess even financial magazines which publishes various data, they can be using XBRL, or the data aggregators, right? And investors. So these are basically these are the various participants who may be using XBRL. So they can be companies, financial publishers and data aggregators, and the investors. Then you can have trading partners. Management accountants can be using it. So people like you and me can be using XBRL pretty often. Auditors can be using it, or regulators can be using it, right? That's something which we have already discussed in the processes also. So here participants are being clearly defined as to who all can be the participants. So they can be trading partners, they can be management accountants, they can be auditors or regulators. Even software vendors can be using XBRL. So who are the various participants? Companies, financial publisher and data aggregators, investors, trading partners, management accountants, auditors, regulators, and software vendors, right? Okay, let's learn more about XBRL. Now basically XBRL enables what? It enables a firm to arrange data using something called as tags. Tags, you attach tags to files. So that tagging only it is talking about. So XBRL enables firms to arrange data. How do they arrange data? They use it by a concept called as tags. Now how do they do it? For example, if a piece of data is labeled as revenue, so for example, there's a data which you have to fit into a revenue set of things, like you need to arrange in revenue scheme of things. Then XBRL application knows that it pertains to revenue. So because XBRL has something called as tag, and for example you take an example of revenue and you attach that revenue to that particular tag, XBRL application knows that it pertains to revenue, right? So that's how it is being designed. Now also XBRL offers expanded contextual information on the precise data content of financial document. So basically it can offer you expanded contextual information. That is, it can give you more detailed analysis or the information, not analysis exactly, but the information on the precise data, set to the point data content of financial document. So basically it can help you to know the nitty-gritties of any financial data that you require. So XBRL can be a very useful tool with respect to that. With the help of XBRL, a business, person or another software program may quickly produce various output formats. So XBRL, if someone uses XBRL, say a person, a business or any other software program, they may quickly produce various output formats because they already have a lot of information with them and reports based on the financial statement. So just on the basis of financial statement, various business, person and other software program can quickly produce output formats and reports, right? Finally, in this chapter, we'll be talking about what are the benefits of XBRL. First of all reports are automatically created, right? So basically automatic creation is one of the benefit of XBRL. From what? From a single information source, which eventually reduces erroneous data and assures data reliability. Erroneous means inaccurate or incorrect data. So basically an XBRL can make sure that all the reports are being automatically created from a single information source, which eventually reduces what? Erroneous data and assures data reliability. So you can trust the data. It reduces expenses, obviously, because it is being automated, as it simplifies and automates generation of reports, right? Because you don't need any dedicated manpower for it. There is a system which automatically automates it, hence it reduces your expenses also. Then what it can do, it can speed up your decision making process for financial entities. So financial entities, basically using XBRL, they can help you, it can be a very handy tool for speeding up your decision making process. Then it facilitates the publication of analyst and investor reports. With respect to access, Comparison and analytic capabilities for information, there is no comparison. So in terms of access, comparison and analytical capabilities of information, there is nothing better than XBRL. So that's what this point wants to say, right? So what are the various benefits of XBRL? First of all the reports are automatically created from a single information source, which how does it help you? It reduces your erroneous data, that is incorrect data, and it assures data reliability. It reduces expenses because it simplifies and automates generation of reports. It speeds up decision making process for financial entities. It facilitates the publication of analyst and investor reports. And with respect to access, comparison and analytic capabilities for information, there is nothing better than XBRL. Right. So with this we finish XML and XBRL. In the next chapter we'll be doing 11.5. We'll be covering cloud computing, business intelligence, artificial intelligence, robotic process automation and machine learning. Very important from exam point of view. Very likely that some questions may be asked from this topic. Hence we'll be covering this topic and 11.6, which is a very small portion, and we'll do MCQs, and with that we will be finishing entire business data analytics. Right. Thanks for joining me, and just focus on your learning, keep concentrating, and I'm very sure you will crack this exam with ease. Right. Thank you for joining, and happy learning.